Guys, what the fuck? I was muted before. So I'm gonna delete my past stream as soon as I saw it. And I'm gonna leave this one. My fucking god. Why no one told me that I was muted? Holy shit, and my baby was calling me and I was not answering the calls. Maybe she's watching the stream and she was telling me that I'm mute. I'm a piece of shit. Okay, I'm gonna confirm that I'm not mute as soon as I'm able to have access to this stream. My god, I got like 7 viewers in the past stream and no one told me that I was muted. Such a piece of shit. No, it's PK tutorial. How I will be able to do a PK tutorial without a microphone, guys? That makes no sense. And of course, if I don't open my channel on YouTube and use my cell phone, I'm not going to be able to see if I'm muted or not, you know? I'm super new with the PS5. People said that some players are rusty. I'm rusty. I've been without playing like 7 months. On YouTube, I don't have like the red symbol letting me know that I'm streaming, so I don't know if I'm muted or not. Why this shit is taking so much time to be registered on my fucking... Oh, there we go. Hello, hello? Why this shit is taking so much time? There we go. I need to get on my stream to see if I'm muted or not, imagine. I was speaking all alone there for almost 1 hour. What the fuck? Mate, if you were calling me because you're watching the stream and you wanted to let me know that I was muted and I didn't answer the phone, I'm sorry about that. I know you don't want me to invest that much time on Dark Souls 3 anymore. So here we go again, guys. It's Griffith again. I'm gonna repeat everything. And this is a tutorial dedicated as a tribute to Doran. He proved himself being the best ARA player, competing on a tournament using a spear, not even a top tier weapon, a spear. And he did it very well. He was backstabbing, doing parries. He's fucking amazing, honestly. Okay, guys. So I need to explain something real quick about spears. So, okay, I want you guys to imagine that this is my opponent. This item in the floor, you know, this this trash here. Because I don't have brimstones. Okay. So why spear? It's not a top tier weapon. Again, because if I'm hitting someone here at this distance and my opponent is using an off stock or a PK or a cube sword, and I miss my hit with a spear, I only have 2 options if I don't want to get hit. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna panic roll, or I'm gonna roll, you know? Because if I miss this hit at this distance on my opponent, I cannot do a second swing with the spear. Because before I land the second hit, if he have an upstock or a PK, he's gonna interrupt my animation and he's gonna hit me. So this is why spears cannot compete on a high tier level as a main weapon. But if you want to use this type of weapons as your main, or these weapons as your main, or great swords as your main, well, not great swords, because great swords are good enough. But the thing is, you need to implement hard swaps, and the only good hard swap that I will recommend. Idris, what's up, King Doran? Welcome to the stream. Very well. Good to see you, the Arabic champion. It's a pleasure to have you here. So the thing is, if I miss this hit, I will need to implement hard swaps on my playstyle. Otherwise, I will only have two options if I miss my first hit, because before trying to land the second hit, and my opponent is using an offstock or a curb sword, he will hit me for real. I will not be able to land the second string. But if my opponent, me too, Doran. Thank you, bro. If I want to use this weapon as my main, and you are not Doran to use it as spear on a high tier level, the best way is to implement hard swaps. And the only good hard swap that we got, the universal hard swap, it's the Corbian, because there's no weapon faster as a dagger, but this dagger also have a weapon art and through combos. So if I miss this R1 and I don't want to roll or panic roll, because if I do the second swing, my opponent is going to interrupt my animation and hit me 2 times. All I need to do is to hard swap, and this is the right way to use a spear as a main weapon, because on short distance they will always win the trade or the priority. And if they're using a PK, this is going to be a trade, and both of us, we need to roll or to spam, you know. But if they're using a straight sword or an offstock and I miss this shit and I hard swap, I'm gonna win I'm gonna hit first. I don't even need to trade, because this shit is so faster. It's a dagger. It's this faster weapon, you know. So the good way to use a spear, if I miss at this distance the first hit and I want to connect the another one, but my opponent is using a faster weapon than me, it's just to hard swap. If you want to use a main weapon that it's not top tier like PK or AKSS, any other weapon, you need to implement hard swaps to the playstyle. And also, talking about PK, I've been seeing a lot of people trying to do running attacks with the PK. A good PK player never ever use a running attack. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. What you need to do, it's to feint your opponent and get close to him as you can, you know, doing some feints, make him think that you're about to do a running attack. Before you do a running attack, you need to do wiggling. What it's called a wiggling, this is wiggling. This is the way we called this animation. This L1 animation, this is called wiggling. So if you want to do a running attack, you need to do the wiggling first. So a good way to feint your opponent, it's to be doing this, you know, because he doesn't know if you're going to do a running attack or just to get close. Also, on a PK fight, and I learned this from Value, you want to always be running. Never stop holding the circle button. Never. When you want to move, you already want to be running. But if you start to run without a wiggling first, you're gonna be slower. But if you do the wiggling, you see, you're starting to move faster. And that's the difference between starting to run with a right hand cestus, as G9 said, as you do it holding a cestus two-handed and start to run. It's slower. It's a little bit of difference, but that little bit of difference makes you faster. So you always want to do wigglings to start to move faster, you see? and don't land running attacks to get close to your opponent. So that's the first thing. Always running. Never stop holding circle. Never. Even if you're standstill, never stop pressing circle. Only when you want to roll. But then again, always it needs to be holding circle and do wigglings. So if you want to land a faster attack, yes, like Lorenzo say it, always lock off to the left side, and you're gonna win the trade, because lock off all weapons, swing first, then lock on weapons, any weapon, claymore, a spear, PK, Murky, anyone. And if you want to hit faster, to the left side of your opponent. If you want to have more range and always have phantom range with this shit, it's to the right side of your opponent, always. So the first hit of the PK, the first hit, it's locking on and running. The second hit of the PK, it's stop running and holding L1, wiggling. So first hit running, and second hit and third hit always walking. Because some people do this. This is not good. You are shorting your distance between you and your opponent because you're turning around. If you see, every time that I swing, I'm doing a step forward me, you know? And this, it's making the distance between me and my opponent shorter. So don't do this. This is bad. Tryhards do this, but PK gods only do this. First hit running and locking on. Second hit and third hit without locking on and walking. Because in this way, you're going to have the perfect frame of the PK. And it's confirmed. It's 3 hits confirmed. You don't need to do this. Nope. This is not a true combo. The perfect frame for a curved sword, scimitar, or PK, it's by first running and the second and third hit locking off and walking, but pressing L1 always pressing L1 after the first hit. So this is the way you want to use a PK. This is the perfect frame, and you will always have 3 hits confirmed. 3 hits confirmed. If your opponent panic roll or not, it doesn't matter. If you master the perfect frame from the PK, these 3 hits are confirmed. Some people only hit 2 times because they're doing this, you know? Oh shit. If you want to land 3 hits, only this. You don't need nothing more. You don't need this. You don't need this. Nope, forget about that. The perfect frame and the way to master PK frame, it's like this, wiggling. And I'm gonna show you with an explanation. First hit. Oh my fucking god. A habel. I'm sorry guys, I'm afraid of habels. It's like my nightmare. The first hit, locking on. And you see, I don't need to do middle moons to microspace. Oh. The way to microspace, it's only moving to the right side or to the left side, locking on with the right game settings. You need to have these settings, and you will microspace automatically. How? Look, even if I'm running away and I have these settings, and I move to the left side or to the right side, I'm gonna microspace. You see? But I need the right game settings. And always be locking on the first hit. Okay? This is the right way to do it. And with PK, you can infinite stagger with 3 hits your opponent if they panic roll or not. First hit, locking on and running always. Second hit, walking. And third hit, walking, always holding L1, like this. Infinite stagger. Okay? This is the way you master PK. Tips and tricks. So this is the way you will always be able to land 3 hits in a row. If you master the timing as well. But you need to be holding the L1 before the first air one. And first air one always running and locking on. Second hit and third hit holding L1 and locking off, because you got more speed and you can also have more range. So this is the way you want to do it. And microspace, the only way to microspace running attacks, it's by doing the middle moon. This animation, it's called the middle moon. It's triangulation microspacing, but it's only working for running attacks. Any running attack, you can microspace it by using the middle moon microspacing, and you need to be running, just like beat-ups those, you know? He's always doing this, because in this way, he's moving faster. He's always pressing the running button and doing wigglings or holding the shield. Remember, guys, this animation, this one, it's called wiggling. I'm wiggling here. Wiggling, you know? This is wiggling. So if you run and start to move, doing the wiggling first, you're going to move faster. When people saw players that are moving so fast, it's because they know how to use the wiggling. And also, if they always doing combos on you, it's because they know how to use the PK perfect frame. So if your opponent lands a neutral air one, this is called a neutral air one, you see? You can just microspace them, walking left or right side, locking on, and you will do the microspace automatically. But if they land a running attack, you need to do the middle moon. The middle moon microspacing. If your opponent is here, the way to do the middle moon, it's to the left side, like this. Don't do it like this if you're in this position and your opponent is here on the bonfire. It's to this side. And if you are in this side, you need to do it like this. Why? Why with the wiggling? Because if I'm not doing wiggling and I want to turn around, I'm going to do the I leave my kids on Walmart animation. But if you do wiggling, you can instant avoid that animation and move on any direction. So that's why if you want to microspace a running attack, you need to put yourself in the right position. It's these two positions and microspace it. If it's a neutral air one, it's enough to walk to the right side or left side, and you will do the microspace automatically if you're locking on. And then you can continue the combo, walking and doing the wiggling. What else? What else? Yes, so don't turn around like this. It's not worth it. You are shortening distance between you and your opponent. If you do this, you're walking forward and you're getting close to your opponent and close and close and closer. Okay? So that's the way. Also, PKs works almost like a shield. You can always just put yourself in front of your opponent's face, block the first hit, and start spamming them, you know? Because this shit is so good. It's almost working as good as a shield. I will not recommend it, but if someone is spamming you and you are in a corner, just block the first hit and start to spam in his fucking face. And another thing, yes, if someone is using shields against you, always use this ring and you will break any shield, Black Knight shield, even if they are using 14 stamina. With 3 hits, you will guard break them. This doesn't happen with Scimitar, this doesn't happen with any other weapon actually. But of course, a fucking ultra hammer or something like that. But with PK, you can guard break any shield with 3 hits. That's all you need. You can also block and then spam in their face. Because every fucking time someone hits you and you block the first air one with the PK or this shit, you have priority. You can hit them. It's the same with a PK. You can just, well, that's a charge. You can just block the first hit. That's a charge. Okay, that weapon got hyper armor. But if they are not using hyper armor, you can just block and spam. Okay? But this is what you want to master with the PK perfect frame. So you can always have 3 hits. So that's the difference between a good PK player or a regular one. Don't do running attacks. It's not allowed. Okay, just microspace them, locking on and moving to the left side or right side. If it's a running attack, yes, do them middle moon microspacing and then attack. But first hit, running, and locking on. Second hit, locking off and pressing L1 and walking. You don't need to be running. So you can have the 3 hits, the guaranteed 3 hits. You can guard with this shit and just spam in their face, or you can just microspace them and start the true combo. And that's the difference. Always start moving yourself, doing the wiggling first. You're gonna move faster and microspace faster. The first hit, it always needs to be running and locking on. Second hit and third hit, always locking off and walking. To microspace, a running attack, it's doing the middle moon microspacing or the triangulation microspacing. Neutral air ones from any weapon. You just need to walk left or side. It's not necessary to do the middle moon microspacing. And yes, that's it pretty much. Because remember, getting good in Dark Souls 3 only depends in 2 things. First, the most important one, about the knowledge about the weapon that you're using. The knowledge, it's the most important thing. If you don't have the right knowledge about the weapon you're using, you will not get good even if you play with it 10 years in a row. You need the right knowledge to learn how to use a weapon. And second thing, it's to practice and practice and practice. You don't need a player to practice. I get good playing all alone, almost 1 year playing with this NPC there. You know that move there, mob. And you can practice with that guy. You can practice microspacing. You can practice triangulation microspacing for the running attacks, and you can practice infinite stagger or 2 combos. And yes, if you want more range, hit to the left side. If you want, right side. If you want being faster, hit locking off to the left side. And that's pretty much all the good things or tips and tricks about PK. This is the difference between a tryhard with the PK and a god with the PK. They got the right knowledge and they know how to implement it. So forget about these things, guys. These things, it's in the past. This only use it people that doesn't know how to use it. All you want to do is running and then walking and landing the 3 hits through combo with the perfect frame, wiggling air one with the PK. It's an honor. You just prove yourself competing on the tournament, defeating players with a spear. It's not even a top tier weapon. And you land some very hard techniques like parries and backstabs on top tier players. Not even top players. Those type of things. You prove yourself to be the best out of player. And yes, these are tips and tricks with the PK. Remember to be always walking and wiggling when you start to run. Always running. You never stop holding the circle but to roll. All of the rest of the time, you're always pressing circle. Always. You never walk, but to land the true combos. And remember, use wigglings to feint your opponent, and also to master the perfect frame of the PK, so you can always have the 3 hits with the PK. Guys, take care. This was a tribute stream dedicated to the best Arab player. In my opinion, people can say a lot of things. Emad is so good, yes, but he got bad net. Sansoro solo is top tier player. I don't deny it, but most of the fights against Sansoro, my respect for that kid, he's so very good, but he got bad net. The only top player with good net and with top tier skills that I've seen, it's Doran, not even Peacemaker. And you know Peacemaker, it's my enemy, but I don't have bad desires to him. Not for me, bro. Not for me. On tournaments, Doran it's landing parries and backstabs. On tournaments, Sansoro it's not landing backstabs or Imad. They got better microspacing, but I wanted to see players like Sansoro and Imad almost winning a tournament using a spear. That shit is insane. Don't even myself, I would like have the balls to compete on a tournament using spear because I suck. I'm way too afraid to use it. But players like Doran, they don't think twice by using weapons. that are not top tier weapons like Upstock, like RKSS, Murky PK on tournament, and they also almost win. Doran defeat the best PK player in the game right now, that it's Oak, bro. They got 2 BO9s, he win one, and Doran win another one. So it's 1-on-1. Using a spear, guys, if you don't want to see Doran's skills, you're blind. A spear is very good versus Upstock. Actually, no. Upstock, it's so much better weapon. A lot of people, when Doran was destroying Whitnick, and Whitnick was using PK, by the way, a lot of people told him, use Upstock. You know why? Because of the range and the stagger, you know? A spear, it's not better than Upstock. You need to be twice as good as a player to be able to defeat him with a spear if he's using Upstock. Because spears doesn't have true combos or true combos staggers, you know? You need to be so good to be competing in a fucking tournament using a spear. But that's why people was telling him, change to Upstock. Yes, Upstock is so much better. Yes, exactly, Doran. Listen to Doran, guys. He's an old player. He's actually a most experienced player than me. I've been playing 5 years this game. I think Doran is playing almost 8 years. He's not gonna lie to you, you know. Yeah, but it's not better than spear, but it's good. Upstock, it's better than spear, bro. Believe me. Like Upstock, it's broken. It's an A tier weapon. A spear, it's a B tier weapon. You know, and for me, Upstock should not be A tier weapon. Should be top tier, because any weapon setup with an Upstock, it's top tier. Even if people doesn't want to accept it, any combination with a fucking Upstock, it's top tier. You can do true combos with an Upstock and the spear. This is true combo, guys. If you panic roll, this is a stagger, and this one, if you panic roll, this is true combo. Why? Because of the Upstock. If I try to do that without the Upstock, this is the only true combo of the spear. 2 hits, that's all, you know. And if you're smart enough, you maybe then are going to do the running attack. But there's no true combos with a spear. With the Upstock, you can do a lot of true combos. Oh, mean Upstock better than spear, but it's a spear. It's a better weapon if you are a better player. If both of players are on the same skill level, Upstock it's better weapon, and the guy using Upstock it's always gonna win. A spear, it's not top tier. If you're a top tier player, this is a good weapon, but if you don't, you will need to implement hard swapping, just like I told you. If you miss the first hit with the spear and your opponent is using a PK, an RKSS, or a top tier weapon, you will not be able to land this thing. You will need to roll or to panic roll. You only have 2 options if you miss at this distance. The first air one with a spear, you only have 2 options. But if you hard swap, you can have priority and through combo them. And keep with the aggression, and then again switch to the spear. Shuttle all go on the right hand. Look, if you are using Gotthard, imagine this is Gotthard. Upstock and straight sword, it's the best Upstock combination weapon. But why people use the shuttle? Because shuttle does damage, cheap damage against shields. So even if I'm blocking, and even if you're not using dark build, and you're using the shuttle, you're gonna do cheap damage on me. Shuttle does cheap damage against shields, even if you're using a physic build, you know. So, but the straight sword is so much better because it got true combos. Like this is a true combo. And if you time it well, this is true combo, and you will hit 6 times your opponent. This if you got the perfect frame and stagger, this is true combo. It doesn't work with shuttle. With shuttle, this is like the only true combos you can do. You know, only 3 hits. What you want to do, it's to always be using straight sword and Upstock. But if your opponent is using shields, you want to do the running attacks, hard swapping, to the shuttle and then returning back to the straight sword. Also, hey, what's up, Tiger? Also, if the running attack straight sword with Gotthard or any other straight sword, it doesn't have a phantom range running attack. With a curved sword, shuttle or this sword, you want to use it to do running attacks, because any curved sword, one-handed with the upstock, it's gonna do. It have phantom range, so use this one as a main. But for running attacks, always hard swap it to the curved sword, and then you can return to the straight sword because it's so much better. And yes, guys, this is trips and ticks. No one is gonna tell you. Cavern, hey, what's up? No one is gonna tell you how to use a PK or explain you how to roll, when to be running, when to lock on, when to lock off. And yes, guys, if you have questions or doubts about PK, just rewatch the stream or send me a message, and I will answer you. But that's pretty much all you need to do to become a god with the PK. Not just to be a tryhard with PK, but for real to be a god with PK. If you implement that knowledge that I just shared with you guys and practice a lot, you can become the best PK player, just like Oak, bro. And yes, that's gonna be all, because my wife is kind of annoying me right now. I'm sorry, babe, I love you, but you're sending me a lot of shit. And that's it. This video, it's a tribute to Doran, in my own words, the best Arab player, and to the DS3 community. Because back then, the meta community was gatekeeping the knowledge about weapons, and without the right knowledge, you cannot get good, even if you practice every day. Yes, I'm gonna start another stream just right now. We can have some fights with anyone that it's not cheating. Hey, what's up? What's up, Salmotap? What's up, my good friend? And I don't hate Arabs, guys. Please don't think that about me. I hate the bad connections, but the truth is not all Arabs got bad connection, and the truth is not all Americans, not all UK players got good connection. Most of us got shit in it with them as well, and they don't complain that much. So yes, I'm gonna start a new stream. This is a tribute dedicated to King Doran, the all good King Doran, and to the DS3 community. You got the knowledge to become the best PK player right now, guys. Use the knowledge, because knowledge and your brain, it's so much more stronger than any weapon if you use it rightly. So catch you later, alligators, and see you in a while, crocodile. I'm about to start a new stream anyways. How do I stop streaming on PS5?